If, like me, you get really frustrated when you're editing a video on your phone and then suddenly you need a subscription or it slaps on a watermark right across the work that you've just done, well, you're in luck. I've partnered with Adobe Premiere Mobile to show you exactly how you can use Adobe Premiere Mobile and all its free features to edit your work on the go. Now, first off, if you're wanting to create YouTube shorts, but you're worried about copyright or music from other platforms, then you're in luck. Premiere Mobile has these YouTube short templates actually built directly in here. You can see we've got lifestyle, we've got beauty, travel, cuisine, health. There's all of these in here. And if we want to, we can just click on these and then they're just going to give us a quick taste of what this template looks like. We can just scroll, see which one we like, and just then choose and use the template and edit it from there. But today we're going to start from a blank template. You'll see across the top here we've got a few different options on how we can actually start a project. We can start from a photo library, there's also from files. So even if you've got an external drive connected, you can actually select that from the start from new files. You can start a blank project or anything else like that. But today we're going to start from a photo library because that's likely where you're going to actually have your documents stored. So I'm just going to select a couple of clips from a recent trip that I had down in London, and we're just going to click next, and that's going to then import those into our timeline. Premiere Mobile has quick and easy timeline editing. You can see here as I scroll, it's really easy. We can pinch to zoom those around. We can drag our clips, and as we drag our clips, we can rearrange the order to however we want to. I could drag it up to the top here so that that top clip now becomes actually B-roll, so it's actually on top of the other clip. Now the other thing is I want to post this to Instagram or something else like that, but I filmed all of these in landscape. Up in the top here, this third icon, we can actually change the aspect ratio. So you can see here, if I click on the aspect ratio, it's automatically changed that for us. Now, this is good. It's given us kind of like a blurred background, but down the bottom here, we've actually got an option where we could actually just fill that out. So we can actually fill this out and have that actually fill the screen here. Now, the other thing to be aware of is if you want to give yourself more space at the bottom or at the top, on the left-hand side here, you see there's like this little icon, and as you click and hold that, you can drag that up and down, and that's going to give us either be able to see more layers on our timeline, or it's going to be able to drag that down and we're going to be able to see more of the video that we are editing. So that's a really good tip whilst we're here on the interface here. Obviously we've got the other obvious options, the diamond that's got the little plus item which is next to that, that's for keyframes. And then we've got our play and step forward kind of like options. So that's just going to play and step those forwards one frame at a time. And then we've got our undo and redo options. Now next we've got recording a voiceover. Now I'm hoping this is going to work because I'm actually using the input to my laptop to record the screen here. But all we do is click on the little plus item down here and we can come over and we can actually click on record voiceover. And then that's going to give us the options. I can see the mic here, so we're going to give this a go. And it's going to give us a countdown, and then we go, welcome to a day in the life in London. This is a great option. And you can see there, that's added that in as an actual audio file that we can then go in and edit the volume or do anything else like that. Edit it as we normally would do. We can trim from the edges on either side. We can also choose to just click on split, and then that would actually split the audio. Now you can see here as I play this back, you can see it's got the waveform there, countdown, so you can see what I want to do is actually cut it around about there. So I'm going to split that, delete that beginning bit because that's where I was talking over the beginning of the audio clip, or the where I wanted to start creating the voiceover. So we're just going to have that on the option there. Now the other thing we've got in here is we've actually got enhanced audio. Now this means that we don't have to worry about being in the best environment or anything else like that. We can just click on enhanced audio, turn that on. It's going to take a few moments to process that, and this uses the same technology as Adobe Podcast, and you can bet your bottom dollar this is going to sound absolutely perfect. So there you go. After a few minutes, you can see I've left it on there. So if we click on that, we can see enhanced audio. I've kind of like enhanced the audio at 90%. This is the default, and kept a little bit of background noise in there, so it doesn't sound too bad. But let me play this back for you now. Welcome to a day in the life in... You can see that's with it on, and I'm going to again turn this off so you can turn it off. So if I press play again, welcome to a day in the life in... And you can see that enhanced audio has been absolutely amazing, and this is unlimited generations of enhanced audio. There's no kind of like limit on how much you can actually enhance in your video editing. So now we've actually done our voiceover. Next we want to add some captions. Now captions are unlimited in Premiere Mobile, and they are free, and you can edit them as and when afterwards if you wanted to. So we're going to click on this, and we want to actually add in some captions. So we're going to click on the plus option here, and we see here we've got the titles and captions, and we click on captions, and we're going to click create captions. You can see it's done that straight away, and we can move these about if we wanted to, so we can still just grab these. They don't have to stay where they are. We've got all sorts of different styles that we can have in here, so we can just click those out around and choose where to actually place these. So if I wanted to, I could actually put them up here, and you can see you can actually resize them and change them if you wanted to. But there's all sorts of different options. You can change the font, the color, or any of the layout, and set the text width if that's something that you wanted to do. Now next we've got adding B-roll and sound effects. Now you can see here, this is one where I just dragged this clip up to the top here, and that then becomes the B-roll. You can see if I put it back down here, it puts it down in the middle, but if I click and drag it up above, then that actually adds this in here as B-roll. Now what I thought would be really fun here is if we actually added some sound effects of some pigeons making pigeon noises. So you can see here we've come over add music, and we've got sound effects. Now you can search in here for different sound effects. You could search for pigeon, E-I-G, pigeon, how do you spell pigeon? P-I-G-E-O-N, that's pigeon, isn't it? Yeah. Okay, so we can see here we've got all sorts of pigeons where they're flapping. Now the problem is the way I'm recording this, I can't hear these as I'm clicking down, but that doesn't matter. What we're going to do is we're actually going to record our own sound effect. So you can see here where we've clicked on music and audio, we've got sound effects, and then next to that we've actually got generate sound effects. Now this is really fun. So if we type in here again pigeon, G-E-O-N, you can see we can actually perform the sound of the pigeon. Okay, so let's give this a go. I'm going to click this, and it's actually going to play our sound back to us so we can see it. It's going to give us that countdown. Oh. Okay, and I'm going to click on generate and see what actually sounds it gives us. So you can see now it's actually given us 4 different sounds that we can now play back. So I'm going to play this one back first. Okay, I think the second option is going to be the better one. Just play the last one for you first. Yeah, that second option is the one that we actually want. So we can just click and select the one we want, and then just click add to timeline. You can see it just adds that there on the timeline, and we can just choose to trim this up as and when on how we want to. So we can see, because where I was recording it, it started recording back into the other option, but we can see here, let's say we want it here, that's where we wanted that to play. So I'm going to click play that back. You can see that's really fun to play, generating your own soundtracks or sound effects. And next we've got adding music, which is built into Premiere Mobile. We've got royalty free music that we can use in here. So we're going to click on this, we're going to click add music and audio. You can see we've got that selected, and then we've got soundtracks. So we've got all of these different soundtracks which you can select. You can choose the different mood, the different genre, the different duration, so you can choose and narrow this down. We've also got the search option here, so I'm going to type in travel, and the one I'm going to select is bring me my plaid shirt. Now we can see we can listen to this back. I'm going to pause on that, and we just click on the plus, and that's going to then now add that to our timeline. Now the music is in our timeline. We can do all of the normal things where we can split it, we can choose to trim this. We can move it around on the timeline if we wanted to. So I can click and drag that. So if that's the particular part of the music that we wanted to add on here, we can come over to volume and change the volume down. Now when it adds it, it automatically adds it in at 30%. And you'll see in the bottom right hand corner, we've got this little diamond with the plus button, and that is now keyframes for the volume inside of Premiere Mobile. So you can actually create those kind of like dipping effects where you're maybe talking or something else like that. You can add all of those in there. If we can click on audio fade, you can see we can fade in and we can fade out as well inside of there. Now the other one that I want to point you to on this is the beats option on here. Click on that, we can turn this on, and then that's going to actually detect the beats in the music. And we can see here now on the beats in the music, you can see you've got the yellow dots. So you might want to actually select this particular clip here, and you might want to then just split and then change the clip, and that's going to allow you to be able to actually time your clips more to the beat of the music. Now I realise this video is already a lot longer than what I was thinking it was going to be, so we're just going to select this clip here, and we're going to look along the bottom. So we can see here we've got our split, delete, duplicate, replace, we've got slip, and what that means is if you've got this much of a clip in the middle, and you've got like end this side and end this side where you've kind of like trimmed it up, you can actually then slip that bit of the clip inside of there. You can move, and that's going to move it up, so that's where you might want to add a clip as B-roll, so you can move that up. You've got the volume there that we've shown you, the fade, we've got enhanced audio, we've got extract audio. So if you wanted to kind of like just remove all of the audio from a clip, you can extract it and then just delete it if you wanted to. You've got remove background, so if you wanted to remove the background of a talking head, something like this where I am now, you might want to remove the background. You could do that in here. You've got all of your filters, adjustments, you've got effects, change the opacity, change the speed of a clip, so you can actually speed clips up to 100 times. You can see that on there. You can reverse a clip, you can freeze a clip. So if you wanted to add kind of like a still frame from a video clip, you could add that in there. Again, we've been through the fill. We've got the crop, so you can choose to actually crop and rotate, and if you just double click on those, it'll actually reset those for you. You've got transform, so you can actually change the scale on here. You can just double click, you can rotate anything, again double click, you can change the position of this. So you've got all of those refinements, and again down in the bottom right hand corner you've got that little diamond with the plus for adding those keyframes in here. So that's the transform. You've got auto reframe. Now one of the things I really like on auto reframe is if we click on this option here, we're going to click on auto reframe. It's going to take a few moments. You can see there from the clip that we had beforehand, it was kind of like panning across and didn't keep on the pigeon there. But you can see there now it's actually added keyframes in there to actually add those on there. So if we click on remove the auto keyframe, you can see here I actually pan around from left to right on this, but it's actually got the information in there, and because it's off screen, if we wanted to, we can, as I say, we just click on the auto reframe, it adds in there those keyframes, so it adds this kind of like still handheld, and it's kind of like just making sure we're kind of like keeping that pigeon in the frame there. So that's something that's really good. You've got Stabilise, so you could stabilize that footage as well if you wanted to. You've got flip, left, right, and you've got all of your transitions. So in between the clips here, you can see on this one, you've got this little kind of like dash in between. If you click on that, you've got all of these different transitions that you can add in here. There's so much to Premiere Mobile. I'm just double checking my clips. You can use AI to create videos, images, stickers, and just, yeah, if you've got any questions on using Premiere Mobile, drop them down in the comments below. And if you want to give it a go yourself, I'll put a link to that down in the comments, but you'll find it in your app store. And until next time, thank you very much, and bye for now.